100 years ago, people lived long, active lives without modern pills, clinics, or daily prescriptions. They didn't have advanced medicine, yet many stayed strong well into old age. Their secret was not a miracle drug. It was a simple daily habit, passed quietly from one generation to the next. A habit built around two kitchen ingredients almost everyone still has today. Honey and garlic. No hype, no promises. Just an old routine most people have completely forgotten. And strangely, it's something doctors rarely talk about anymore. Over time, the way we think about health quietly changed. As modern medicine advanced, people slowly stopped trusting everyday foods and started depending on pills, syrups, and quick solutions. Old habits were pushed aside not because they failed, but because they were simple and slow. 100 years ago, people believed food was the first line of care. They paid attention to what they ate daily, not only when they felt sick. Today, most doctors are trained to treat problems after they appear, not to talk about small preventive routines. That doesn't mean old remedies were useless. It simply means they no longer fit into a fast medical system. Honey and garlic didn't disappear because they were proven wrong. They were forgotten because they were quiet, cheap, and could not be sold as a solution. Forgotten does not mean fake. It often means overlooked. Across many cultures, honey and garlic were part of daily life, not emergency treatment. From ancient Egypt to Asia and Europe, these two ingredients were used in homes long before clinics existed. People believed that strong food created strong bodies. Honey was valued for energy and preservation, while garlic was respected for its ability to support strength and endurance. Farmers, workers, and elders used them to stay active through long days. They were not seen as cures, but as support. Something taken regularly, like brushing teeth today. There were no bold promises or instant results, just consistency. Old generations noticed that people who followed simple routines often stayed active longer. These traditions survived for centuries because they fit into daily life easily. No exageración, no misteri. Just food used with intention, passed quietly from parents to children. Honey plays a quiet but important role in this old mixture. Long before refrigerators existed, honey was used as a natural preservative. It helped keep food stable over time. But not all honey is the same. Raw honey, which is less processed, still contains natural enzymes and compounds. Processed honey often loses much of this during heating. In this combination, honey does more than add sweetness. It helps soften garlic's sharpness and acts as a carrier for garlic's active compounds. Think of honey as a natural vehicle, slowly delivering what garlic contains. This is simple science, not magic. Honey also helps protect the mixture as it sits over days. That is why older generations trusted it for storage and daily use. It made the routine easier to follow and more gentle on the stomach. Garlic has always been the heart of this old habit. When garlic is crushed or chopped, it releases natural sulfur compounds. One of the most known is allicin. This reaction only happens when garlic is broken, not when it is swallowed whole. Ancient healers may not have known the chemical names, but they understood the effect. They noticed garlic supported strength, stamina, and resilience. That is why garlic appears in so many traditional practices around the world. It was respected, not worshipped, used carefully in small amounts and often raw. Garlic was never meant to be taken in large doses. Its power was believed to come from consistency, not quantity. This respectful use is what made garlic a daily food, not a dramatic cure. The focus was balance, not extremes. When honey and garlic are combined and left to sit, something interesting happens over time. The mixture slowly ferments. This is not the same as spoilage. It is a natural process that changes the texture and strength of the ingredients. Older generations understood patience. They didn't rush. They often waited days or weeks before using the mixture. During this time, garlic becomes milder, and honey absorbs its compounds. The result is a smoother, more balanced blend. This is what people meant by synergy. Two simple foods working better together than alone. Nothing dramatic happens overnight. That was never the goal. The value came from routine, a little taken regularly. This slow process is one reason the habit survived so long. It matched the pace of life back then. Calm, consistent, intentional. For most people in the past, this mixture was part of a morning routine. Not a treatment, not a reaction to illness, just a habit. Usually a small spoon, never large amounts. They believed more was not better. It was often taken before food, then life continued as normal. No counting days, no expectations of quick change. The idea was prevention, not cure. Older generations understood something modern life often forgets. The body responds best to gentle support over time. They didn't stop using the mixture after a week. They used it for months or years. This patience made the habit sustainable. It didn't disrupt life. It blended into it. That is why it lasted so long. Simple routines are easier to keep than complicated rules. Today, modern research has started to look again at foods once ignored. Studies now support that both honey and garlic contain compounds linked to immune and heart health. This does not mean they replace medicine. And no serious scientist claims that. But it does show that old wisdom was not random. Science often confirms what tradition noticed first. The key difference is language. Modern science uses data and studies. Old generations used observation and experience. When both point in the same direction, it builds trust. The honey and garlic habit fits here. It is not a miracle. It is not a cure. It is support. A small daily choice that aligns with what we now understand about natural compounds. This balance between old knowledge and modern understanding is where real wisdom lives. Even natural habits are not for everyone. Some people are allergic to honey or garlic, and that matters. Garlic can also affect blood thinning, especially for those already on medication. This is why moderation was always emphasized in the past. Small amounts, not daily obsession. Old generations respected limits. They listened to their bodies. That lesson still matters today. If something feels wrong, it should be stopped. This habit was never meant to replace medical advice or treatment. It was meant for generally healthy people looking to support their routine. Awareness is key. Nature works best when used gently and thoughtfully. There is no fear here, just responsibility. Understanding that simple does not mean careless. Respecting the body was always part of traditional health, and it still should be today. Modern life is fast, processed, and reactive. We often wait for problems before thinking about health. Old habits focused on prevention, not panic. Today's food is heavily processed, stripped of natural value, and eaten without thought. That is why simple routines feel shocking now. Honey and garlic remind us that health doesn't always need complexity. Sometimes it needs consistency. Returning to small daily habits doesn't mean rejecting modern medicine. It means supporting the body before it struggles. This old secret matters because it teaches a mindset, not a recipe. Slow down. Choose simple foods. Build routines you can actually keep. That lesson is more valuable today than ever. Not because the past was perfect, but because it understood balance better than we often do now. The honey and garlic habit survived for centuries without advertising, labels, or promises. It didn't need attention. It just worked quietly for those who respected it. Over time, it faded not because it failed, but because the world changed. Remembering it is not about going backward. It's about looking at health differently. About asking whether simple daily choices still matter. This old wisdom doesn't demand belief. It invites curiosity. And sometimes the most powerful ideas are the ones that don't shout. They wait patiently to be noticed again.